My next guest I had the privilege to sit down with is a fiction writer and also a poet. Within this episode, we talked a lot about masculinity and what it means to exhibit healthy masculinity. We also talked about their uncertainty and kind of like their hesitation around identifying as a man and what the history behind that is. And so I want to say that masculinity is whatever we make of it. We can choose to take the healthy parts. We can choose to create parts of masculinity that means something totally different than what's ever been represented, whatever we have ever seen. And we have the choice to make it our own. And so this is a really good episode. And so if you stick around to the very, very end, as a poet, they read a beautiful poem. So I know you're going to enjoy this episode.
Them boys, them boys, amplifying, transmitting, color voices, yeah, we here making noise, making noise, visibility equals possibility, you know we them boys, them boys, amplifying.
Welcome to Them Boys Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Aaron, he, him, his. My next guest is a fiction writer and poet. His work guides him to process what blessed him with life, like dreams and water, spirituality, ancestry, love, and affection, but also body politics around gender, queerness, and disability. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Sean. Oh my God, you have an amazing voice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So you want to go ahead and introduce yourself for folks to know who you are, your name, pronouns, and also where you located?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so my name is Bodi. Actually, it's Bodi Yemisi Anton Babatola. That's my full name. And I'm 40 years old, and my pronouns are he, him. Sometimes they, them, but more he, him. And at the moment, I'm located in the south of Italy, normally in Berlin, Germany, but right now, that's where I'm at.
Beautiful. And so what brought you to Italy? So I want to say, first of all, for that, there's a significant time difference between the two of us. So it was, 9 hours difference?
Yes.
Yeah. So this was very difficult to kind of navigate because I'm not a morning person, but I'm a morning person for you, Bodi. So I'm here for you. But also, I know most folks aren't. You know, if it's either be early AM for me or late afternoon for you. So I'm so glad that we found a time that can kind of mesh so we can share your story for the world. It's beautiful. So what brought you to Italy from Berlin?
Yeah, I guess the reason why I'm here right now is because I just needed to escape the German winter. I guess the winter in Germany is comparably to the one on the East Coast. Very snowy, very icy, and yeah, with everything that my body has gone through the last couple of years, I just can't take it. And I just had this great offer from a friend who said, you know what, I have a place here. Why don't you just come and house sit and just be in the south of Italy? Now I've been here, going to the sea and eating fruits from the trees around, and yeah,
that's beautiful.
Trying to take care of myself.
Yeah, beautiful. You are a traveler because even though you are in Berlin, right? Well, not now, but originally you live in Berlin. We actually met in the States. And so you want to tell folks where and how we met each other?
Oh, absolutely. I was very blessed to meet you at Camp Lost Boys in the US in Pennsylvania. I was so blessed to be able to come and see all the people there and all the beautiful men, all the beautiful boys and men to be. Yeah, you were part of that crowd, and I was very blessed to get to know you there. I think it wouldn't have been able for me because it sounds fancy, like, oh my God, yeah, I can travel and go places, but actually just community and people who come together. And in this case, also put money forward for me to be able to come. And I'm very, very grateful because I've never seen anything like it. Being in community with 160
it was something
trans
like that.
men,
Yeah,
trans masc. It was magical.
Yeah,
and I mean, I learned spades, so
yeah.
I guess being in the black crew was also very special.
Yes, we did have they said the largest black trans men group that actually showed up for camp. And so that was huge. So I'm glad it was my first time there. Also your first time. I'm glad I got to experience that, right? And took away some really good relationships, friendships, community, and hence why me and you are here talking to each other today.
Exactly.
Right. And so I want to say something about you that really stuck out to me is your smile. And so for folks who can't see, but folks that are watching, you can see you have you just I gravitated towards you because of your smile. It's just so warming and just, and also you're a poet and you wrote a poem at camp, read it for the group over a meal when we were sitting like in a cafeteria. And that poem just struck me. And I told you afterwards, I said it was beautiful. And do you know, folks listening, that Bodi actually sent me a copy of that poem? Beautiful. And I was like, Bodi is a keeper for sure. So I love that. So that was one thing that I love about you was your smile and your energy, your curiosity. I felt that you were very curious. And also, right, the United States and Berlin, we have different cultures. We have different things that we do, different things that we say. And you were very curious of what everyone else is doing, saying. And it just was a beautiful experience to meet you. And so I'm glad that you're here today to share your story.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Also, what a blessing. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means a lot to me that you say that because, yeah, reading poetry out loud is one of my greatest fears and my greatest hobbies alike. So that was one of these moments where I chose to share, and it's great that it struck something with you. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And also, I want to say to folks listeners that I asked you to be a guest on the show. And at first you said, absolutely not. But now here you are. So I want to know, what was that shift within you to say, you know what? I wasn't ready then, but I'm ready now.
Listen, I can't even. I this I had such a hard time acknowledging that I was invited. I was truly invited as my host to be in
Mm,
this podcast, but also actually to be who I am choosing to be freely. I think this all comes down to where I am in my journey of becoming a man. I I'm shy. I'm so shy every now and then and in between and all around. It's a long process for many of us, I guess. And so there were these doubts in me just saying, oh my God, are you trans enough to be here? Same thoughts I had before I came to camp. Am I really that guy? And I know that these thoughts are not actually mine. I know who I am.
mm,
I feel who I am. But there are so many images and I don't know, gazes and perceptions of people, of others. And then sometimes I just feel intimidated by that, I guess.
mm,
And I was invited by your vulnerability again and again. Like I remembered, yeah, there was this very specific moment I remember from camp where you kind of took me aside and said, you know what, Bodhi, I know that you were supposed to be here with friends and they didn't make it, and that's really, really sad. But this is actually also just your journey, and you're welcome here just for who you are, just by yourself. And yeah, that really touched me.
mm,
And so I felt this trust, and I found it again. And then I thought, let's
mm.
go, let's meet, let's have a chat again. Because yeah, looking forward to
Right.
speaking more with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wholeheartedly believe that we all have our own journeys to take, right? And this platform is for us to amplify our stories and let folks know we're not all the same. We're not all at the same point. So we don't all have the same end goal. We don't all start in the same places, but we all have this journey and we all deserve to spread it. And so visibility equals possibility. So other folks that may share a similar journey as yours can hear and say, oh, wow, I feel comfortable with who I am because somebody else is just like me. Right. And so that's what this platform is about. I know I always say trans mask because that's my identity, but that's not what it's all about. Just trans mask. Right. It's about other folks, non-binary folks or folks with other identities that's not just similar to mine, but it's gender diverse and on the trans spectrum. Right. And so we all deserve to share our stories. We all deserve, excuse me, we all deserve to be highlighted and amplified. So I'm so glad that was a touching moment for you. So I love to ask my guests all the time, and I say this all the time that I love to ask my guests because I do, because every story is different. And you said your full name in the beginning of this, so I want to know, like, how did the name Bodi? How did that name choose you?
Yeah, that's actually it's recent. It's really recent that I'm Bodhi. I found the name. The name came to me when 2024 or 23. Yeah. You want to hear the long story or the
Oh, of
short
course,
story?
I'm here for the long stories. Go ahead.
So 2023, I had a busy year and not good year also. I was diagnosed with cancer and
Mm,
yeah, I was struggling a lot through that diagnosis. And one thing that helped me was writing stories. So I wrote this character in a short story who was just in a lot of pain and going into this fictional world where there were lots of yeah, situations happening where this person could process the pain and really go through it, and then meet someone who would invite them to have lots of pleasure. And so, because I also write erotica, let's be honest. So, yeah, they were just embarking on this really playful journey together. And I realized that this story writing helped me a lot, just, yeah, freeing myself from my body only being pain. And so, guess what this character's name was? Bodi. And I
mm,
didn't realize in that moment that I was writing about myself. I got that like a year later after writing that story. And then I just, yeah, when I started finding discomfort with my birth name, with the name that was given to me, I love it. But I felt this discomfort and felt like this energy. I really just want to take this power and name myself and name also myself in this process that I'm in. And then the name came, was Bodhi. And I was like, hey, I didn't know I wrote myself, basically. Haha. And yeah, I really love it. It's just, yeah, I thought in the beginning maybe this is just going to be a test phase. Maybe I'm not going to stick with it. But no, on the contrary, it's growing on me every day.
mhm,
And yeah, it also, I mean, does remind me of me having a body and me being in my body and grounding myself in my body. Um, as well. And in Germany, people also pronounce the name differently. They say Bodi.
mm,
In France, also people say Bodi. And so this name is kind of really linked to who I am in this vessel that I carry.
mm.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm sorry
Um,
to hear about
yeah.
the cancer diagnosis, and I want to ask you, like, how have you found kind of like solidarity within your body just from making that connection between, oh, I wrote about myself and this is the name that I want to carry.
Yeah. I mean, my my body and me writing about my body and what bodies do in generally, I guess, also has always been, or like for a long time, has been really powerful to me. And as much as my body was kind of my, I don't know, I wouldn't want to call it my enemy, but the source of the place where all the pain came from and all the fear and the, oh God, is this my moment to leave this place? And things like that. And it was also beautiful and lovable. And I could see all of the people around me like mirroring this beauty to me and knowing that, yeah, I guess if I also surrender to whatever's happening to my body and listen to what messages are also in there, I might also find healing and joy again. And so I think mm, my body and writing about my body is kind of, yeah, one of the sources of healing for me, I guess, somehow. Yeah.
Mm. Who did you have taking care of you in the moments?
So I must say, I have an amazing group of friends. Like I would call them family. Huh. Yeah, I literally when this diagnosis came, I had this moment of truth, realizing, okay, cool. So you've been teaching so many people over the decades how to empower themselves, like, queer Black youth, how to be with yourself and be happy and just focus on supporting, asking for help. I was talking about this all the time, and I realized in that moment, oh, okay, Bodi, now it's your turn. You have to practice what you preach. This is
Mm,
something you can't do alone. So I kind of just, yeah, I actually just took my phone and started a group chat with, I think, 10 of my friends, just
mm,
saying, hey, okay, sorry, you can leave anytime, but now I'm just asking you to be my support group
mm,
and be there for me. And that's what they did up until now. And they are just, yeah, we are an amazing group.
it's
So
beautiful.
it's been a whole job to manage this thing, and we've been doing well.
So did you hear from all 10 folks?
Sorry?
Did you hear from all 10 of the friends in the group chat?
Oh, yes, of course. And
Oh,
it even grew. Yeah.
beautiful. I want to say that I can tell how, just based on just your smile and just who you are as a person, that you have beautiful community and people loving on you and taking care of you, because you've, just like you said earlier about traveling, you travel because of your community and folks opening doors. That just shows how wonderful of a person you are, to say somebody can say, hey, come across the country and come stay in my house and house sit just to dodge a winter like that. People just don't do that for anybody, right? That just shows how much you're loved and cherished, right? That somebody will prioritizes your health and your body over their comfort of just being in their home, right? And so being in somebody's home is a privilege, because when you come in someone's home, you bring your energy, you bring all of that stuff, right? So that means that you're loved. That somebody say, "Hey, I want all of you," and literally bring yourself here. So that just shows
Yeah.
how beautiful you are as a person. That somebody's willing to do that for you. So I'm glad you had the love and the support of your community. So and
Thank you so much for
yeah.
saying that. And I think it's also really, yeah, I learned so much because I thought asking for help was going to kind of mean I'm going to, yeah, just feel maybe guilt or kind of the weight of having been a burden on someone. But what I learned through the last years, and I can see that now more and more, filling my life. This is why I'm here. It creates intimacy.
Mm,
Just create pure intimacy. You are super vulnerable, and people also start to be vulnerable, and you enter another level of relationship and love and care for each other. And I didn't really know that until I tried it.
mm,
It's really beautiful.
mm.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Joel Simu, production assistant for Them Boys podcast. Our community keeps growing, and we'd love for you to be an even bigger part of it. Have a story that needs to be heard? A powerful moment you'd like to share? Well, we've expanded our newsletter to include more voices from our community, and yours could be next. We're looking for those meaningful snapshots of life, your personal stories and reflections that capture who we are. Think 100 to 200 words that pack a punch. Ready to share your story? Send your writing to me at joel@themboys.org. That's JOEL@themboys.org.
Bodi, I love to ask folks about your gender journey. And so I want to know, like, where, as far as back as you can remember, when did you have like a sense of who you were and just of your body and just how you wanted to navigate the world?
Mm. Yeah, that's a really such a deep and beautiful question. And I could ask myself that every day and find a new answer in a way. Um, but today, I think, yeah, I kind of knew that I felt less comfortable being called a woman or a she at around 30.
Mm,
I think 30 was the time when I realized that it's not comfortable to me at all. So I came out as non-binary and just asked people to, yeah, use gender neutral pronouns, they, them, or none. But if I'm being honest, I also had a lot of beautiful experiences exploring masculinity when I was very young and very butch, but also very soft in a way. Like for me, discovering my masculinity, whenever I think of discovering my masculinity, feels very, very soft and very warm and very like stepping into my power as a supporter for myself, but also others. Like, picture this grandfatherly vibe. And so I feel very, very clear to me that I am becoming a man. This is like recent. This is maybe, 2 years in the making that I feel I've kind of just been a bit too shy to take the full step. I kind of I was looking for images that reflect my journey and I didn't find them. I didn't see them. So I always thought, that's not me, that's not me. So I can't be that. I can't be that. But that changed so much. And also with camp actually, I really recognized, okay, my version of me, the man I want to be is it's here. It's not an image that I don't want to and can't embody. So it's recent, um, but at the same time very old. I don't know what else to say. The answer is different every day.
Mm. I think masculinity is what you make of it, right? And you is everything that you make of it and everything that you don't, right? There are some, and I think about it, there are some soft men, there are some toxic men, right? There is just, I've learned that there are different body shapes, body types. I've always had this reservation about my body because I'm short. I've had issues with like my lower body being bigger. And so I always had this idea of like, I'm not man enough, right? But I realized that it's masculinity is whatever you make of it. And so is femininity, right? It's interchangeable. If you want to embrace parts of it, you can. If you want to leave some parts out, you can do that too, right? And that's what makes us humans. That's what makes us different, right? We bring in this variety of experiences in life and representation that it doesn't have to look like anybody else, right? Even if we never transitioned and we were on this journey and we were on a linear path to womanhood, even womanhood would look different per person, right? And so does trans experience. It's the exact same thing of the experience. And I want to go back for a second because I couldn't remember earlier what I wanted to say, but I was thinking about health and about community. And I always tell folks, because it's a privilege and it's an honor to have health benefits. I don't know how it is in Germany as far as health benefits, but here everybody doesn't have that access. And so I always tell people, if you have that privilege and you can just go to the doctor, you can go to the dentist, use that shit. Because there are people out here that are in pain. There are people out here that are sick that can't take advantage of those things. And so it's just like the same thing is interchangeable with community. There are literally people who don't have any community. And when we have community and we have the privilege to have community, take advantage of that community. And so it's calling on your folks when you need your folks, because there are people out there that are alone. And I talk about this on the show all the time of like getting advice for folks, right? Of how to find community, how to build community, right? Because there are people out there that just don't have it, whether you're in an area where you can't be visible, or you're in a rural area and you just don't have community. So if you have some certain things to know that other people that don't have things, take advantage of it, because somebody out there wished that they could do that. That was kind of one of the things that I wanted to say.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. That's so true. Like, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, so blessed to be in this very fortunate position at this moment in time. And I do remember very different times. I mean, I've already mentioned I'm German. I was raised in Germany in the countryside. So being Black and in these spaces, raised in very white spaces was hard, very hard actually. And I very deeply empathize with people who are not privileged to have been able to break out of these circumstances, or who find it difficult to see them reflected around themselves in everyday life. It's hard, mm, and at the same time, like, taking from my own life story, all these moments I chose to kind of move and jump into the cold water and kind of, okay, let's move to the big city. There's nobody there, but gonna be fine. Like, take the weird job. Let's see who we meet there. Or like, go to the US and meet all of you amazing guys. um, those are daring moments that pay off big time. Like, sometimes I realize I'm just sometimes wildly curious and daring and weirdly brave. And I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a Leo, Aries rising. No clue. But do it. Just do it. Well, whoever, yeah, in whatever moment you feel like disconnected and alone, just just pick up whatever instrument you have at your hands and just reach out. Somebody will be there. I'm so sure. Yeah. No, really.
That's nice advice.
Dare
That
it.
really is. Yeah. And so, how is queer community in Germany?
I mean, from where I'm standing, it's huge. I'm privileged enough to live in a big city. I live in Berlin, and I've been immersed in the queer community there since 2015, organizing pride events, parties, play stuff, workshops. I've been working in this area with Black queer communities, communities of color. So from where I'm standing, it's big and very versatile, and different age groups, different things people want to do. You know, there was this time when we kind of met. Maybe in the beginning it was different, and I know if it wouldn't be me talking now, but people who are a bit older than I, they would be like, "Yeah, Bodi, you entered a time when it was nice and fluffy. It was different 10 years before." So I'm not speaking for them. They thankfully built the community I was able to immerse myself in. But yeah, we don't just meet based on identity anymore. We meet based on our interests and what we kind of want to aspire to, what we kind of feel like nerding out to, and we will always find queer people who are into that, and also BIPOC queer people who are into that. And that's I really love that. No, I think Berlin is a good place to be queer and Black in. When it comes to community, not when it comes to everything else. Let's be very clear about that. Yeah.
So being Black, being queer, it's two separate things, right? You can walk into a room, nobody knows who you are, and the first thing they see is what you look like on the outside. How is it navigating it as a Black person in Berlin?
Yeah, that's kind of the question, isn't it? I mean, I would say it still depends. It's complex. It's deeply racist. It's Germany. We have day-old racist structures that have never been taken down, that just stem right from colonialism. And you will feel that in a Black body navigating the streets for sure. And at the same time, so, well, I'm used to also having weird gazes. I mean, there are whole memes out there with the German gaze. Maybe people have been seeing that, how Germans just stare you down and they don't even realize that that happens. Yes, all the time.
Okay.
I'm gonna lie. But at the same time, you kind of also have these cute migrant communities in Berlin. Maybe not Black communities, but definitely it's a very, very diverse cityscape, I would say. And with that also comes a friendliness towards your body that I do like. Yes. But generally, if you want to survive in Germany, you do have to say your mantras a lot in the morning and just give yourself some encouragement that you're good and that you're not defined by whatever comes your way, because it will be harsh. Let's be honest. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
You know what's
Something like
strange?
that.
It's strange when I'm hearing you speak on that. And I don't want to get into like politics. We won't get into anything like that, but just on a human level in general. We've been around each other for thousands of years. You would think that somebody would be used to seeing somebody by now, right? You should be used to seeing a Black face by now. You should be used to, right? Like, we as human beings, we were designed to be in community with each other. We weren't meant to be alone. You weren't meant to live out in the forest by yourself amongst the trees, right? We were meant to be in community with each other, live around each other. That's how we survive as human beings. How come we haven't gotten used to fucking seeing each other by now?
Not gonna lie, Sean, I'm over giving the benefit of the doubt and
Oof.
thinking like, oh yeah, this is just curiosity, whatever.
Yes.
People have been raised in this racist gaze and they love it and they know what they're doing.
It's disgusting.
Period. I choose not to focus. I choose not to focus on them. And that's, I mean, it's also a privilege again. Yeah. But I really know this racist structure is designed to distract us from what we're here to actually just do every day. If I have a goal when I step out the door and that goal is a nice goal for myself, I'd be damned if some weird old fur coat wearing lady that exists in Berlin, if this person takes away mine. No, not today.
It's just like saying you walking out the door and you're saying you will not have power over me today. I have power over myself, right? And I think also when we face things, I don't know, I won't even say when we face things because some folks are just going to be racist no matter what they face in life. But when you are faced with certain health conditions or you're faced with your own immortality, things look different to you. It should look different to you. And if it doesn't, you need to check yourself, but that's neither here nor there. Bodi, when you first came out in your 30s, when you were talking about this gender journey of being new, because I came out as trans-identified in my early 30s as well. We kind of similar in age. I'm about to be 45, and you're 40. We're still young.
Yeah.
Who was the first person that you told about your gender identity?
Actually, okay, it's gonna sound weird, but it was my friend telling me.
Oh.
So, yeah, I was in a poetry writing workshop with my now very best friend, my love, my wife, I don't know what to call her, but I love her, Laya. So we were in this workshop together, and we talked about gender, and we talked about, because it was part of the workshop, I guess, and talked about just pronouns. And at some point I just said, I think I just don't like when people call me she. And then she's like, oh, so you're maybe non-binary. Maybe you're just genderqueer or something. And I was like, that kind of moment. And yeah, it really stuck with me. And she was really encouraging. She's like, yeah, just try it. No stress. But I'm not going to call you she anymore if that's not what you feel comfortable with. And we can just try that. And it was amazing. And actually, it's funny because the feeling that I had, this weird shame, whatever, I don't know what it is, something that comes from the outside, it's there again when I kind of think about becoming a man. It's the same weird, this is not okay feeling, but it is okay. It feels really good to me. So yeah, it was my friend Laya.
Big ups to Laya. Yes.
For sure.
Yes. And hopefully she's listening to this. So big ups to you. Thank you for being a friend, right? And people come in our lives for reasons and seasons. And so this was the reason that she came into your life. And it's a blessing that she's here, still with you, still rocking with you. 2026 marks 10 years of Them Boys Inc. That's 10 years of community care, 10 years of leadership rooted in love, and 10 years of turning visibility into possibility. And so to honor this milestone, we've launched our 10 for 10 campaign. You're like, Sean, 10 for 10, what's that? So we are inviting you, our listeners, our supporters, our allies, and other folks in the community to give $10 a month to help sustain the care, leadership, and visibility that trans men of color deserve. And so 10 years is a very long time, right? That's a decade. Can you imagine raising a child for birth and then looking at them at their 10th birthday party and being like, wow, you've watched so much of their growth within that 10 years, right? That's the same for us. And so Them Boys Inc., over the 10 years, we have done a lot. And so we have provided gender affirming surgery grants to trans men of color to obtain gender affirming surgeries. We started this podcast. We are now in season 4 of the podcast in 2026. We created our Visibility Equals Possibility merch. We partnered with Emilio and Zion, both trans men of color, to design what visibility equals possibility means to them. And it's reflected in our merch. We also partnered with the Black trans man, Mola Flow, to create our theme song. And that's the music that you hear every time you tune into Them Boys podcast. We've done merch. We've done partnering. We have delivered care packages to trans men of color in need of personal hygiene items within our community. We have done a lot in 10 years. And so imagine what the next 10 years will look like. Donating $10 a month says, I believe in this work. I believe in the future of trans men of color, and I believe in what comes next. And so if this call resonates with you, join us today. And we've even made it easy. You don't even got to go anywhere. Whatever platform you're listening to this episode, go ahead and open up the show notes. And from there, you will be able to click the link to start your contribution to our 10 for 10 campaign. Your monthly support helps ensure Them Boys can continue showing up for our community with intention, care, and impact. So thank you for listening and thank you for believing in our mission. Okay, and I'm going to get out of here so you can listen to this episode. Take care. I wanted, because you mentioned this a few times about having reservations about being a man. What is that about? And not just about what it looks like, but what is this inner fear that you have around that?
Yeah, yes, deep. I kind of think at the end of the day, it's down to all of the negative representations I had of men in my life. Like, I love my dad. I will always love him, but yeah, complicated person and neglectful person and hurtful person. I never met my grandfathers, both of them, and I mean, my life, like assigned female at birth and like living the life in a woman's body has not been safe around men at all. And so, like last year specifically, I took this, I took the whole year, I do like a little, what do I want to kind of get done this year or like focus on this year plan in January. So last year, one of the things on this plan was positive masculinity. I was actively searching for positive masculinity and try to just, find stories, people, friends telling me stories, and also in myself. And I think that was a big, big part of that. And I'm still struggling with that. Like, there's a part of me that just feels ashamed to want to embrace masculinity and being a man because of all the violence that my body associates with it. It's just sad, and very, very one-dimensional, but for me, very real. I think that's actually my struggle.
And that's real. That's an honest fear. And so how are you able to reconcile that, right? Because once we are on this journey, there's no turning back. And sometimes I don't even, ain't no going back. I mean, you can, but there are certain things that just won't go back. And so I don't, it's been 13 years for me. Me and you talked about this prior to recording of like, I've celebrated my 10th anniversary, 13 years. And what I look like now, I mean, some people say the eyes never change. So you can always look in the person's eyes. If they really knew you before and look in your eyes and say, oh, I know who that person is, right? And I've actually had people in the past do that to me. That I've come in contact with people and they look at me and be like, I recognize you, right? But anyway, there are features of myself that I don't remember. And so sometimes I have to go back in my photos on my phone to be like, oh, okay, that's what I used to look like. Okay, all right, I got it. All right. Right. So how are you able to reconcile that? Because at a certain point, whatever way and journey that you choose, right? So I want to let folks know that medical transitioning is not always the way for folks. And that's not always what equals gender identity, what equals trans identity. But there are certain things when you do medically transition that you can't go back from. So how are you able to kind of like reconcile with that?
That's such a beautiful question. Oh, first of all, what I want to say is, hey, I'm on T for 3 months now.
Yay,
So, yay.
congratulations. Yes,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Uh, yeah, how am I going to reconcile the changes and the, you know what? I think it's just stepping into the beauty of it and embracing this moment. I cannot wait for my body to continue changing. It's been it's been actually such a blessing, and I know I will look different soon and have a certain passing. I already do more and more. Um, but like I don't know. I think what what is really beautiful and what really helps me. So I have a slightly younger brother. We look alike a lot, and I've been hanging out with him more lately. Um, and it's really beautiful to see him being goofy and silly and vulnerable and scared and all of these things, and asking me for support and us just kind of trying to adult together. It's just fucking hard. I feel, thinking of that, like, yeah, of course, there are also things that we fight about, and he's been raised as a boy, as a man, and yeah, that has its shortcomings when it comes to being present, also in an aggressive way sometimes, a very weird way, like forceful way. But all in all, it's nice. I kind of like being his brother, and kind of it feels so cute to think like, oh, we're growing older as brothers together.
Mm,
That's one thing that I feel really, yeah, just feels so nice. And to see myself as uncle to friends' kids,
mm,
and to see myself growing into a father figure, into a grandfather figure feels amazing. And I think if I focus on that, yeah,
mm.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, you said earlier about wanting to find healthy versions of masculinity. You can create that. So when somebody looks at you and they say, now that's a form of healthy masculinity, right? It's not what we get from others, but it's what we can create within ourselves, right? So when you become that, when you're that uncle, when you're that grandfather, and being a grandfather is wonderful, actually. I'm a grandfather. So that's an amazing thing.
Hey,
Yes, my granddaughter is 2 years old. And so that's amazing. But I get to decide how she views masculinity, right? And it's all of obviously is different from my son's masculinity. I'm more softer. I have more patience. All of these things, right? That female assigned at birth. We were socially, that's how we had to learn. You have to do this. You have to be quiet. These are the traits that we were taught, right, by society, by parents. All of these things are what we were supposed to be and how we were supposed to grow up. And so I get to choose what form of masculinity that I want to be. I want to be soft. I want to give her all the kisses, right? I didn't get that from the men in my family, but she'll be able to say, my papa gave me all the kisses. My daddy maybe didn't, but my papa did, right? And so we get to show, and we get to show the forms of masculinity that we want people to see, right? And the more of us that choose these healthy forms of it, the more of it will be. Maybe some of these cis men to say, you know what, I want to be that kind of guy too. You know what I mean? And so you get to make that whatever you want it to be.
oh, yeah, that's absolutely right. Absolutely. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a
Oh,
question?
absolutely, absolutely.
Do you remember when you first, and then also how you expressed your version of masculinity around you? Like, what was there a significant, like, yeah, that's me stepping into my masculinity right now, and this is what it looks like?
Do you mean like in just in general, or like as growing up, or?
I was thinking also of what you just said, like about
Hmm.
your family and younger people in your life.
Yeah, I just know. I just didn't. I grew up with my two uncles, There are bits and pieces of them that I wanted to keep, but there are also bits and pieces that I know I didn't want. And I've always been hyper aware, even as a younger child. I always knew I had this idea of like what was acceptable and what was not. and I remember even my mom would tell us stuff, and I would tell my younger brothers, Mama don't know what she's talking about. So I always had this idea of who I wanted to be. And as I transitioned, I just knew I wanted to, it's the same thing that I'm telling you, is that I wanted to create something that other folks can emulate, of like, wow, that's, I say it all the time, right? Of showing healthy masculinity, telling people that I love them. I don't even have to know you. And I can say, I love you. I love you as a human being. I love you as a person. And so these are things that how I would want people to treat me. And so I wanted to be that example for other folks. And I think where it really shifted and turned on for me was when I became a father. And so I knew that he had forms of masculinity in his life prior to me being with his mother that I didn't like. And so it was my job for him to see a different piece of it. And so I always thought that, I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't, I'm not a good enough parent. Who am I to, step in and be this dad? But then I realized as he got older, he's now about to be 29, that some of the things that I did teach him, he has reflected back to me of like, oh, Dad, I remember when you used to do this. I remember you used to do that. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So everything that I practiced and everything that I said I wanted to do, it actually happened. And so that's kind of like, and it's like even like a full circle moment with my granddaughter. I'm like, okay, I did good. Right. And so I guess I hope that answered your question with it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's very important to me to, I just always, not just in masculinity, but just as a human being, my goal every day and is I wake up and I just want to be a good person for today. I try not to lose lose my shit because I get angry really quickly. So I try not to be that kind of guy either, right? I'm trying to be patient. I try to exhibit characteristics of that. People be like, I want to be like Sean. Sean, you cool. Even at my full-time job, a lot of times people say, Sean, you cool. You a pretty chill guy. Okay, good. That's the vibe I'm giving out. Okay, good. Right? I don't want to be anything toxic. I don't want to be like, man, that he always angry or he always saying the wrong thing. So I'm always thinking before I speak to people. It's just, to me, this is the form of healthy masculinity that represents me the best. So
another idol, another icon.
And this podcast are full of trans men of color who are exhibiting healthy masculinity, right? And I would say we do it all in different ways, right? We have folks that are athletes, we have folks that are writers, poets. Like we all have these different forms of masculinity that we chose to embrace. And so you can pick an episode and you'll be like, I want to listen to this one and see what form of healthy masculinity this guy is bringing. So, I love to highlight different ways that we choose to survive here and live and be and just be. So
absolutely.
Yes.
Hi there, I'm Mike, and I'm the creator of Trans Mass Stories. When I was at the start of my transition, I searched for uplifting stories of people who had questioned their gender identity, gone through their transition, and come out stronger. I needed direction and a light at the end of the tunnel. Trans Mass Stories is my way of paying it forward. It's the resource I wish I'd had, a space full of real, positive, and anonymous transition stories from transmasculine individuals, offering clarity and hope for anyone navigating their journey. If you're on the transmasculine spectrum, I'd love for you to share your story. And if you know someone who could use some direction, send them over to transmaskstories.com to explore dozens of transition stories. All right, that's all. Enjoy the show now. Cheers.
Bodi, you are a writer. And I want to say something too, that I'm an Instagram stalker. All the time. I stalk people on Instagram. I may not even follow you, but I'll stalk you and I'll look and say, let me see what Bodi doing. Let me tell you this. I really enjoy your Instagram page for folks who would like to follow Bodi. We'll put that information in the show notes. But you are a writer, you are a poet, and I think you lightweight a photographer too, because I've seen some of them photos on there. You do a really good job. I was like, that is a nice photo. You had a video of like that I thought was a really nice video. You had a photo and a video of like I don't know, I think it was fufu and okra. And I was like, who the
I
hell makes
mean,
okra look so fucking sexy via a picture? I just never thought that was possible. So your content is amazing. And just being a writer and a poet, how is that process for you? How are you able to embrace masculinity in your writing and your poetry?
mm, hmm. I mean, my way to writing has kind of been interesting because I feel in yeah, when I was in my full-time job, I used to support artists finding their way and um, yeah, kind of encouraging them to find their voice and what they want to do with art. And I kind of didn't really understand myself being this artist as well. So I needed to embrace that at some point and really just put myself forward as no, first and foremost, I'm a writer. This is what I do. Um, and it also changed my daily life more to like really performing and to writing regularly and to having dedication to this trade because it's not just something that you call yourself, it's something that you do a lot, I guess. And I needed to really call myself in and be like, okay, go on then, let's get it. Um, and yeah, as I also said before, I write about my body a lot. I write about bodies a lot, be it in an erotic kind of way where I explore gender and sexuality expressing itself in very also fantastic ways, in ways that just trying to create language and words that we don't even have, I guess, to, yeah, broaden whatever I also feel or I feel me and others kind of would want to hear and see for a change,
Mm.
I guess. But when it comes to masculinity specifically, yeah, it's still a very, I would call it um, maybe very, yeah, baby steps. I think I'm speaking about masculinity sometimes in a very, um, I'm just trying here, you know, I'm just trying here. It's this energy. When I reread my text, sometimes I'm like, ah, yeah, okay, this is still early writings. But it's nice. It's authentic. It's what it is. What I like, I remember one poem where I kind of talked about me feeling the most beautiful versions of masculinity that I feel present in me comes from the very strong female lineage of my African family. I think meeting my aunties the first time was, you know, there you are in your big body, big black tall body in my case,
Mm-hmm.
just roaming this earth and just feeling so out of place. And then you go to Nigeria and you meet all your aunties and you're like, oh, that's what we look like. Okay, cool. We just big and black and super strong and we run the fucking families and we get in the money and we just, you know, so but I associate a lot of strength and like stepping into your power with that. And that's for me also whatever I associate with expressing masculinity. So this is what comes to mind for me.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything to read for us here?
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
I wrote a poem the other day, and I thought if there's time to read something, I would like to share that.
Yes, I would actually love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
let's do it.
I feel this poem touches a lot of different topics that we kind of spoke about. So it is called "If You Would Make a Utopia for Myself, What Would It Look Like?" Let me tell you, first thought, my utopia is larger, is wider. Think fat, ghee, butter, whatever you do. Circumventing scales that set to measure the imaginable, I urge you to place your wildest dreams in equilibrium with child fantasy. I skyrocket to worlds where juices flow, rivers bed poetry, and my neighbors always have something to spare. Where we share what we forage, where we prosper and store for hard times together, wealth derivative of well-being. Not street-high walls fencing off a storage full of missed opportunities, of high heart rates and anxiety meds. You rich in loneliness. My lioness, my utopia rests deep in my shoulders, my belly, a wonderful place. We grow leeks and water lilies there, and we can visit the garden whenever we care. We will open gates as more of us come flooding with gurry, with carrots, waves of hello. We welcome all, solo, all findings, all glow, cheeks still hollow from all the whistling from rooftops' utopian truths. You gaze from your high street wall, huh? You underestimate. Again, don't conflate our gentle manner, our candid endeavor to be kind in this world for weakness, for you to abuse. Look, learn from the giant red tree that regrows in our garden, that softness, not hard shell, will make infinity, no matter how much you try to burn at us. In our utopia, we will love you enough so you don't even have to love yourself to still have a bountiful life. We are us in this utopia. Abundance. Welcome here.
Beautiful. Can I come there to the utopia?
Yeah. You're very welcome.
Yes, that is beautiful. Thank you so much, Bodi. I really appreciate that. I love hearing your poetry reading. And for folks that want to check you out, where can folks find out more about you? Where can they visit you reading your poetry out loud or find out more about you? Where can folks find you?
I mean, for now, I'm working on a website, so please find me on Instagram, which I'm trying to move away from. But yeah, Instagram at Bodi Poetry is where you would find me for now. And I hope that I will read at my friend's Laya's next One World Poetry Night. This person hosts an amazing show in Berlin. So if you're in Berlin, go. Beautiful Black soul speaking. And hopefully we'll perform again one day.
Thank you so much, Bodi. So this is the part of the show where I love to ask my guests a random question. And so I have a long list of questions. One of the questions may or may not have anything to do with what we talked about, but I have 84 questions. And so just pick a number between 1 and 84 and I'll read you that question.
Well, then it's gonna be your T birthday
11?
number.
11?
13.
13, the actual date or the year?
Oh, the year.
The year. So 13.
I had my, yeah, that was where I was landing.
Okay. This is actually an action item. So number 13 is tell us a joke. The poet is telling us a joke. Huh?
What bees make milk?
Oh, what bees make milk?
Boobies.
That's good. I like that. All right, I got a joke for you. I saw this one on Instagram. There's a teacher. She has math jokes for her kids. So the kids come back from the weekend or break and they have to tell a math joke. And so I got that from this. I'll try to link it in the description so I don't want to take anybody's things. But I saw this was one of the jokes. Why was the math book so sad?
Don't know.
Because it had too many problems. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful page. I feel like it's a good way to get kids to learn math. That some of those kids have some amazing math jokes. I'm like, who making? Kids are so creative. But anyway, I'll try to link that in the show notes so folks can go and take a look at that page with the kids telling their math jokes. But Bodi, is there anything before we get out of here? Is there anything last thing you would like to say to folks that are listening?
I hope everyone can just take a deep breath every now and then. Just arrive back to this moment. It's a good moment. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bodi. I really appreciate you. And in practicing healthy masculinity, I want to tell you that I love you.
I love you too, Sean. I really do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.